Okay, so I'd like to welcome Elizabeth to the stage tonight. Um, and this evening, I'm very thrilled to introduce Elizabeth. She is a dedicated nurse, accomplished author, energy coach, and a founder of Every Sunday Beat Coaching. Today's topic for discussion is Trust My Intuition. Elizabeth has just she has self-published already 4 books, and this one is the fourth one. She's just finished and published, and she will discuss tonight the inspiration behind her writing of that book, the story and the core message of her work, and she will also share with us who will gain the benefit by reading this book. So let's give warm welcome Elizabeth to the stage.
Yes, thank you. I welcome to my book, What Life Taught Me and the Most Important Discovery. That's the title of the book. I actually have this book first, and then I changed also a bit. It's another one coming, was ready by 2nd of this month. So, well, what inspired me to actually, many people with whom I was working in nursing or recreation, others, friends, they inspire me to, and they said so I should write a book about the way how I live and the way how others live and make it sort of common. So I did, this book contained 24 of chapters, which one I might say it's about a lot of stuff. So it's about my life, different of the aging, mistake, and fire, the concept of the mindfulness, new behavior, and then my few interviewers, which one I did, Ron, James, Helen, Fran, Mr. Rin, and Antonio. So the story. So you will sort of see in that, and of course, reviewing each time, whatever, the life forces, confidence, what they have, and why the life is changed in the life's direction. So so that was what inspired me really to write this book. And I've written also this book because of the mysterious of the mind, as you know. Great in the mind, characters imagining a romantic love, but also can lead to problems. Why it is happening? It's happening because the spark of love energy works differently. So there are at least 3 ways of thinking that I had learned a harder way. And my goal was to weave the idea into the coherent picture using the prominent teaching theories. So that what I learned from Tony Robbins, from Joe Dispenza, and others, many, many others, and how your mind can change your life. So first, a key redirecting a state of productivity is learn officially how to create state of behavior, because you can direct your experience in a life and feel good about it, and other time it doesn't. What matter to me, highest possibility matter to others, I thought. So that's the point. Sharing those life messages will help you to elevate energy, health, and passion in achieving your goals, as well as make it easier to connect with others. That's what I noticed. So now I would like to sort of make a bit, change a little bit stories, take from my book, and I will read, and you might see those changes and how to grab the information and how to make your life easier and happier or something. So in my case, I will go. My husband used to come home late from work, unhappy, and his jealousy was unbearable to render every day. I want to do that because it will show you. Sometimes he becomes suspicious, listening and watching to see if the conversation was about him. I try my best to direct his changes in moods to create more pleasant situation for every day at home. I tried different strategy. Once I bought ticket to Puccini Madame Butterfly at opera. During this beautiful performance, he distracted me by asking why, instead of talking, they singing. Wouldn't be faster to complete all those sentences by talking? I had tears in my life due to that beautiful performance. But his question made me laugh instead. The best choice for my husband was a ticket to see the Kaharajan dance with the swords by symphony orchestra. The next also he made interested in the pantomime expressive, and soon we moved to Wrocław, to our house, close to our workplace, my workplace, and our daughter's school, the music school of dreams. My husband completed the management course and got the manager position, and our financial status improved. I heard from his co-workers that he's very arrogant. I felt unhappy and ignored, and I decided to get to study and mix with other different crowds at the Academy of Physical Education. I chose Faculty of Tourism and Recreation, major in recreation. I need to meet different-minded people. My husband wasn't happy about, as he had to spend more time with our daughter. The medical board accepted my application, and I got time off work for exams. The university credited some subjects, anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, Polish, and Russian language, but I need to choose a second language, so I choose German language. I realized I need to refresh my physical activities. So at 5 a.m., I swam and I ran for 2 hours, then back home to prepare breakfast for my husband and daughter, then back to work at 9. Early autumn, I had to attend the sport camp, which included 2 kilometers of swimming in the local river and spring run for 2 kilometers. Students chose me to oversee our year group. My duty was to organize all projects, to deliver to the faculty department and bring all students' index for signing and the lectures and the faculty department. My husband wasn't happy with all the arrangements. My first camp was 3 hours from Wrocław, as a small stadium near river, which was surrounded that stadium, so it was safe enough. I slept under the camping tent with the 4 other girls. There were 32 students and 2 coaches at that camp. On the first night, while I was in bed, I heard some noisy, and suddenly I saw my husband pop into the tent. He wants to get to bed with me. As soon as the mites were screaming, 2 coaches rushed for help. They escort my husband to the gate and ask him to stay away. At 6 a.m., our activity began with the sprint run competition. As soon as we started running, I noticed my husband outside the fence, running and watching me. Our coaches not only watch our performance, but also my husband's, and they told him, go faster. The next day, we have swimming competition. My husband was still watching me at the time, and with all those distractions, I finished last in the competition. That was our last night at camp, so coaches surprised us with other challenges, a dance, as the program was planned for the winter seminar, but coaches changed it for that last evening at this camp. Music started, and our faculty head coach entered the room and asked me straight away to dance with him. Soon, my husband's head appeared behind the glass window. My dance partner slowly moved to the door and invited my husband to get in the dance with me. He refused to come in. I laughed because I know he couldn't dance. He never danced. As soon as we finished the dancing competition, I went to my tent and I found my husband packing belongings. Then we walked to the bus station. All the students, the coaches, and they were waving to us. The bus passed by. Since that camp, all the students from our group become very friendly with me. We have a good time during the exams, helping each other, gathering all the information. Next season was in the winter time. We must pass all physical requirement for ski and skating exams. This time my husband didn't follow me. He stayed home with our daughter. I last skied when I was 5 years old, but since my parents divorced, I have never skied. My mom changed all my physical activities to ballet classes. I was desperate to practice skating, and before that test, suddenly I came to my mind because of my 11 years old daughter loves skating and does it every winter time. School organized a small ice rink in a schoolyard. I asked her if she could teach me. She said, okay, and added, I am worried, Mom, that all kids skating there might laugh at you. I insisted, and I was able to practice with my daughter help for 3 days. And I was quite confident while I was holding to my daughter's arm. Surprisingly, kids were very protective and ready to support me, watching me all the time to stay safe. Next Saturday is the day to test skiing, and we coach at the Olympic Park skating ring. Coaches call us to get to the middle of the ice rink. The youngest did it at once, but 8 of students in our group stayed behind me, holding into the fence. Coach impatiently called to action, but none of us want to let go that fence. I did a couple of rings, but was still holding onto the wall, which slightly improved my confidence. Coaches called me a few times. Elizabeth, you oversee the whole year group, so you must get to the middle of the at once, even if you must sleep on your bottom. And do so. The coach word killed my fear. I said to myself, there is enough, only good will win. And I went straight to him, and all the others follow me. We were skating times 4 to the front and backwards times 4. Then coach showed us how to envelope side, cross the backwards time, and close the bottom of the envelope. Finally, I was the last one to close the group, the practical exam, and pass. I feel so good. A couple of weekends later, you must go to ski camp. I was praying and that my husband would stay home this time. He was quiet. Well, I pick up my bag. Only watch me if I didn't pick some fancy underwear. He walks with me to the bus station stop. In 3 hours, I reached the winter lodge. The scenery was breathtaking, with the snow everywhere, reflecting light in a rainbow color. The lodge of the winter felt very cozy, warm, and beautiful inside. The only things that puzzled me was those trees outside, with the trunks covered with the dark blanket and the metal ring holding them. It was probably the tree protection for unskilled people, often bump into the tree. It was metal. That thought gave me goosebumps. I didn't ask any students at that moment, but during our night meal, I asked one student, and he smiled and replied, "No, that is protection for the winter, so they can survive till spring." He looked at me and asked if I can ski. Then he offered me help and then some training during the late evening. The ski hill was right behind the lodge, and the lamp was bright enough for the ski run. He explained and demonstrated balance movement down the mountain edge in movement, some rotating movement, pressure, and coordination. I thanked him for his kindness, and after a couple of hours, we returned to lodge. The next day at 8 a.m., we were all on that hill practicing ski. My confidence was growing from minute to next. We had a lunch break, then returned to practice ski to be ready for the next exam that morning. Suddenly, I received an emergency call from home. It was my husband calling, letting me know that our daughter is very sick and he didn't know what to do. I got permission from coach to get home, but I need to go tomorrow morning for exam. I got on the community bus at 8 and got home at midnight. My daughter opened the door and her crying explained that trips to come to check on me only to see how quick I would show up. He was sitting in the lunchroom reading his paper and laughing. I turned quick to the coach at the last community bus for my exams. Soon I discovered that no bus was available at 10 p.m., only at 6 a.m. I decided to wait at the bus station till then. Inside the bus station, it was warm, and I noted a couple of people also waiting for the trip. I returned to lodge at 9 a.m. All students were already on the hill, warming up to the exam. I managed to change into the old gear, and at 8:30 I was with them. Coaches didn't ask me any question, just encouraged me to try to refresh my style for exam. My body was in higher dose of adrenaline, even without food and drink. At 10 a.m., I was asked to do my part, and I did without thinking. I passed the exam. To my surprise, I did well, and the coaches said it was best. To my surprise, I was awarded with the snowboard wings. They pushed me off the hill, and I flew about 80 meters from the hill without fear. Getting back up was harder. I was extremely thirsty and much weaker then. That night, after good evening meal, we had pajama party. I noticed everybody had red faces and noses. Nobody cares how we look. We were singing and dancing till midnight. I returned home Monday at 11 a.m. As kindly coaches dropped me right next to my house. Good God, my husband was at work, so no drama disturbed my sleep. My daughter returned from school and tried to surprise me with lunch she had cooked. Then, to my surprise, my husband came with the flowers and asked for forgiveness. Actually, he didn't say a word, just handed those flowers to me. He was also silent during the meal, so I went to our bedroom to study. The next week, he tortured me with his jealousy, calling me hurtful names. Soon, all oral exams were due, and we had to lodge some assessments. But I didn't concentrate at home. I couldn't. I decided to stay an hour longer at work for my studies. At last, at clinics, all staff were excellent. Work plus running smoothly, and where no patient complained. My daughter, after the music school classes, also pop into occasionally for her homework while I work on my writing assessment. Then we return home. It became more friendly to my stepfather. They played cards and occasionally brought home some friends. So that's the parts which I want to show you. And so why I did that? I think I did that because um, that's the way people are changing, and you're trying your best to have that feeling of be in balance. So I still was working as director of nursing, and I decided to change activities. I try with him different kind of um, activities to encourage him to see what he can do. But it did improve. So along the life, going with others, hear the story, I can see, so you believing in love, you are close to that, and then not always working, and then you're asking yourself why is happening that. So the best, I think, as I said, learning how our mind managing our life, and if we want control our mind, if we want be sort of alert what's happening, if you want to be with friends or others, you have to adapt yourself to the environment. So that's what I want to say. And now I have also some questions, which I don't know if what maybe I will read you the chapters. I mentioned, yes, what we had, 24 chapters, and there's a reviewing of people behavior and myself as well. So in that way of scientific ways, sort of. So the question I have, so it's for us actually, just reflecting a bit, if I precisely sort of give an idea. So are you in job you like, for example, at this moment? I know so some of you retired, but so did you think to, I know Barbara is doing some study, wants to change the direction, the Karen as well. So that's how, what do you think? Do you really enjoy Barbara?
The book was very inspiring, and I think your perseverance was very inspiring with your husband. I mean, trying to keep you away and trying to keep you to himself, and I think this is probably something that happens quite often. So, well, it doesn't happen to that extreme in my place, but yes, my husband did also demand certain things, right? So
Yes.
he doesn't want me to do what I'm doing at the moment, the coaching. Can't wait until it's finished. But then I don't know what will happen if I just drop it, right? So I can't just drop it. I have to find some other way. So I think we all do the extravagant things. I think it was good to hear because I almost expected that there would be some calamity happening. But no, you simply persevered and it all went good. So
Yes.
congratulations. I think it's a very inspiring story.
Thank you. Thank you. So I think others as well. So that's what I said. You're looking for, I don't know, it's very difficult to picture really what you went through and how you want to grow as well. And the other way, like I said, you're changing work or action, study, whatever. And then you feel, so you've done something too, because if you will think why the people acting that way and be angry, then you might sort of shut down your feelings altogether. And there was.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, is that you were very positive right through. So you were kind of living fun life, right? So energizing yourself. So you actually were building strengths to do what you wanted, and that is good. So it didn't really affect you. I mean, it always affects you, but it's not like it's painless, but you stayed and built the energy.
Thank you. Thank you. Karen, what do you think about it? How you are thinking about the jobs or something? I know, so you're doing now photography and the music, relaxation music, and what do you think about the future and your relationship with the world altogether, all of the changes? Karen? She's not there, okay. Maybe she wasn't interested to. Well,
No, she did say before that she may have to drop off.
all right.
I don't think she was not interested. She was listening.
I think she was in the car. She might be relocating home now.
Okay. What about you, Loranda? What do you think about?
What is the question? I can't understand the question.
So, what do you feel in your personal relationship with others and yourself in the world altogether?
What do I feel in my relations? Okay, so let's just pick one relationship. I'm blessed. I'm blessed because my husband and we have very similar interests, and I guess I like this that way because I am very focused. I wanted to become an architect, and I wanted someone who could share that passion with me. So we spent over 40 years together, always discussing things. And yes, I have at the moment, I kind of diverted, and he was asking me question, why am I diverting this way where we were happily doing things that we really enjoyed doing, and he's not necessarily was that much engaged in that, although he was championing me from behind all the time in the last few years. And by default, he listened to many lectures and was sleeping around, and while I was at the lecture or doing the meals, preparing the meals. Well, I couldn't, because remember those long days in TCI, it was hard to do anything for 3 days or sometimes 5 days. So yes, of course, we have sometimes we might have some tensions, and my strategy is always to involve the other person in what I'm doing, so they don't feel left out. They feel that they are part of what I'm working on. And so it kind of worked for me that way, that we build the trust and we build the common interest, even though coaching, it's not necessarily my husband forte, but by default he had to learn a lot of things.
That's nice.
Sorry, Elizabeth, I heard that you asked me a question. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. So I just didn't understand the question. I was just trying to listen in. Sorry, I was just driving.
Yes, I was actually asking about what do you feel about your personal relationship with the work and maybe others. And I know, so you're doing some meditation music.
Yeah, well, I guess in answer to that question, I guess in my personal relationship to my work, well, I do like my work because I'm really grateful to be sort of back into sort of nursing, but maybe at a lower capacity. And I really appreciate the social environment, social relationships I get to form because I was working with my dad and still am, and I found that there wasn't that much opportunity, to form like a lot of sort of friendships and stuff because it's just him and a secretary. And And so, and because I really miss forming those friendships, especially in a bigger sort of setting. So I wanted to find a way where I can get back into that setting. So I decided to do like a Cert 3 in AIN, sort of a nurse's aide. So now I really appreciate, these opportunities it's given me now. And also meditation music, well, I think it's given me another way to exercise my creativity, and I've sort of been finding myself learning a lot of new things. I've discovered that, people are still attracted, to the timeless, sort of type of meditation music that is more, I guess, that sort of leans onto more the sort of the more Christian, the cathedral type, because I noticed that there's a lot of new agey type of meditation music. So I felt that if I was going to stand out and get like a loyal audience, and I had to find something a little bit different. And I've just started like a YouTube sort of retro recipes channel, so I would just film nice sort of recipe books and sort of explore, what food trends were really popular then. So it's another avenue I'm exploring.
Oh, lovely. Well done then. Yeah, thank you. So another things, what other people do you think so other people approve your way of acting in your field? I know so Barbara does very well. She does a lot of courses, and I can see she's very active with the other groups, like in TCI, isn't it? So it brings you a lot of happiness, probably, and a friendship with others, because I can see you in different parts with different people.
I think it is the community has got. I mean, I don't really have friends. I don't know many people. I don't talk to our neighbors. So I've got my community on the computer, but there is a drawback. You close the computer, they're all gone. So, but there was a question that was sort of in my mind, is that I have struggled, and maybe that's why I'm there so much. I have struggled with identity. Who am I? And it's not just coaching versus the work that I was doing before, but in the work that I was doing before, I did travel. I worked in Australia, I worked in England, I worked in Poland, I worked in right across the technology sort of areas in the roles from management to expert and vice versa, and even when I came back from England, where I went as an expert, but diverse there into different areas, because that's what the company kind of required. And at the same time, there were changes in my work. Finding yourself back was challenging. I mean, it's not that there were no opportunities, there were plenty of opportunities. I just didn't know that I wanted to jump so much from one opportunity to another. And here, then I stopped working, and I think it must be in the blood. I immediately jumped and did some other course. So I think I like studying and learning. But when I did my MBA, and then I thought, well, that MBA I really wanted to do in context of my work. It has got no sense without that context. And then came the coaching, and it was totally different. And again, adjusting to it all, thinking differently. It was challenging. It was good. It was great. But even though I enjoyed the learning, I couldn't say who I was. And I don't know if I still don't have that problem. I probably do. So the identity factor, and I suppose we are getting older, so our identity shifts naturally. All this is challenging, but then life is exciting, right? But I think that in the end, we are all looking also for a comfortable green glass type of space.
yes, maybe. Well, I always like something new.
Mhm.
If I feel sometimes I'm feeling I have to go to theater or to see something, to talk to people. They meeting me because I was working so many years in Australia as well in nursing and doing my own business. I have from different sort of places people. Sometimes actually I didn't do many sort of arrangement to meet them. Maybe it was a birthday or some child was born and they invite me to be godmother. But I didn't make that contact because I mean so often as they maybe would like because of my family, and then I was single with children, so and also changing my work. But I like challenges. I love it. Really, it's giving me like my legs and hands are expanding. So, yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I liked it too. But when my children decided to live overseas so far, then I felt guilty. What have I done wrong? So yes, I do like, and then I thought that I was perhaps too focused on me and not focused on others. I don't know. I do have good contact with them, so it's not that I don't. But yeah, I suppose I always wanted to have a close family, and I knew, but it's it's funny. I'm reading at the moment the Hitchhiking to Galaxy. No, Red Dwarf, which is all about afterlife when you actually don't live on Earth, but you live on all the planets. So people travel all across the planet. Still people, right?
Mm.
And I think that we all have it in ourselves. But there was something I wanted to say is when I asked my mom at some point of time why she did not like that we actually wanted to live in Australia, she said it reminds her of the time when she was pushed through the wartime into Siberia and all the things that happened to her, and she felt that when I moved to Australia that the cycle starts again, and that triggers thought. Is the cycle really happening again?
Well, that's our mind. That's what the mind creating sometimes, and we have to be aware. So that is not cycle, and actually you are the boss of your life. And you can create what you want. You feel comfortable with that shoes.
I know, but I'm getting superstitious. Like I won't say that I'm sick when I'm not sick because I'm afraid it might happen. So I think it must be the old age.
I think age. I don't know. Everybody's in different shoes, sort of, and everybody is trying to feel comfortable wherever they are. And I think be flexible is very important and adopt. I did feel for a while when I traveled to Australia, migrated to Australia. So I lost my identity because I had position. The people know me for years as well. A lot of friends, a lot of patients were coming with different stuff, and I was helping them. So I also was with a group of inspectors of checking the health department with others people very important. So that was things which I was missing, and suddenly I was thrown to the nowhere as no one. But you have to build up your strength because nobody will give you a hand, sort of like say, okay, Paul, you come with me.
Nobody will do that, no. But if you're laughing, they will.
Well, I don't know. But yeah, I was helping. I was, paying for a child from Africa, from Zambia. He was studying. I was paying money very often, every month actually, for 10 years. And I was happy with that. When I had the money, I was helping a family member, whatever. Now, as you, yeah, I retire and I have to be careful with the spending, but I really enjoy everything. So beautiful air, and we are in a place, in a planet where everything you have and beautiful weathers. So that's
yeah, like it too.
yeah, so that's what there's no more question. Nobody wants to have a go with something else.
If you can remind me the question, because we've talked about everything.
Yes. Also, do you feel restricted in a way you express your feelings?
No, I don't think so. Do I feel restricted? No, I really, that's what I believe in, that I need to be myself first. I need to serve myself first. And therefore, if I believe, that's my belief, if I take that stand, people will either remove themselves from my aura, or they will become my friends. Because it's no point for me to live unhappy life. I'm a very, I'm very authentic. I'm a very true to myself. But I appreciate that there is 7 billion people and everyone's different. And I appreciate if they have an early warning, don't like me, go away. But I was lucky because I always attracted a lot of people, actually too many people. Because first of all, I at work environment, I always outspoken, and I always love challenges. And challenges means that I created the work opportunity. So everyone was following me because I created work opportunity, and therefore there was opportunity for them. And so they always followed me. And when I stopped working and I worked in different places, they kept following me. But I came to the happy moment because I've realized that I also like to serve myself. What it means that, like Barbara mentioned, I love learning. So before I was learning through challenges. If I had a new project, I was following a path, but I knew that I will make it happen. But now I actually am studying things that are deeply touching me. They just evoke a person that was it was not alive, and now I am alive. I've given myself permission to expand who I truly am, and that means that more people will decide they don't want to know me, and that's fine, because I really am happy being with myself. Because like Barbara also said, by the nature of where we are at the moment, I have to be at home, which something that I haven't done enough in the past. I was always outside of home, always busy working. Now I'm at home, working from home, and I have a lot of communities. I'm connected with many people whom so often I wake up in the morning, and while I'm doing a cup of tea, I'm looking through the window, and I'm so grateful that I am living this moment of life, that I'm not rushing. I'm always rushing, but I'm rushing about things that I direct. And I connect with people who so many times in work environment, I couldn't go a certain direction, talk about things. But now, I can connect with people, I can listen to people, and they actually talk about those things that I didn't have anyone to talk to about. They see the life from that perspective. And it touches me deeply that someone else notices those things. I noticed them before, but there's no one I could really share this with, because everyone was running faster and faster at work. And it's only like one side of me. Now there is another side of me that I discovered and I love. And going back to the identity, I think that's our identity. That's who we truly are. If we are learners, and there are parts of there are topics and nuances that we can actually explore. This is who we are. For most of all, we are learners. There are millions and billions of people in the world who finish the education and they think they've done. And maybe just watch some movies and some programs on TV or listen to some talk on social media. But the actual work and learning is that it has to be a habit of doing this every day to explore who we are, and then we can actually turn it into a message, into an idea, and maybe inspire other people.
Yes, and everything is changing so fast, as you know. I remember first I learned about meditation things through Dr. Campisti, which was my promoter of my master degree in recreation. And I was surprised that something like that in Poland wasn't available at the time. And he was sort of engaged to that very quick, and I want to learn more even. So when I learned other languages, I was able, not Russian, not English, actually. We have more stuff to learn from here.
I have to go.
But yes, thank you. Thank you very much.
Hi, Barbara. Good to see you.
Okay. So that's what happened, and it's never too much to learn. So all my life I was learning. Yeah. Thank you. So
Thank you very much, Elizabeth. Thank you for sharing with us your thoughts, and I'm looking forward to whatever the next things you come up with. Okay.